this table where we laughed and talked all day. So long ago, love was offered. The joy of being together made you want to stay. Take me back.
Well, welcome back to Life with Nana. I'm Nana, and I'm so glad you're here today. Today we're going to be making my mom's peach pie, and I hope you enjoy the video. Now, I've never seen anyone else make a peach pie like this, and I'm not saying they don't, but this is one of those recipes that was handed down from a friend of hers, and that friend, it was in their family, and then it became a staple in our family when the peaches come. So the first thing we got to do is we got a pot of boiling water, and we're going to just put the whole fruit down in there just long enough to let the skin loosen. Won't take long at all. If it makes you feel better, you can put a little X with a knife. I never see the need to do that, but you can do that if you want to. And we're just going to do probably about 4. And let them sit in there for a little while. Over here I have a bowl of ice cold water, and I think it's going to be just right to let these peaches, we don't want to cook the peaches because that's really important. You don't want the peaches to cook. You just want the skin to start loosening. So we only have 11 peaches, but that's going to be enough to make a peach pie. Oh, and I meant to show you this. I found this at a garage sale the other day. Isn't that neat? That looks so old to me. I don't know if it actually is. And I like this because I can hang it on my shelves. All right, they're still... It's better if the peaches are a little on the riper side. My mom probably would have let these sit for a day or two, but I'm impatient, you know. I just want to get going. So these are going to be good. And this is not so much a recipe as it is a method. So we're going to put these over in some cold water. Okay, so I got all of the peaches ready to go here. And all we're going to do for right now is just try to get these peelings off. Now I would put them in a pot of boiling water, but these peaches are not quite ripe enough for that method, so we're just going to peel them. That won't be a big deal. Would have been better had I let them sit for a day or two and let the juices ripen up in there just a little bit, and the skins probably would have slipped right off in the hot boiling water. But we're going to move on. So these smell really wonderful. So I just want to get them going. And peaches will turn dark on you pretty quickly. So we want to get some lemon juice in here with these and keep them tossed around so they don't start turning dark on us. So I just have some real lemon juice, and I am going to, if I can get the lid off, I'm just going to put a little bit on here, and we'll just toss these around as we go. And so that's the way you want them to do right there. You just want that. This one was a little bit riper, so you You want that skin to just slip right off, just like that. That makes it easier. We're just going to cut these into little wedges. And my mother insisted on Nilla wafers for the crust, so we'll be doing that. But we're going to have to get all these peaches done, covered in sugar, and let them sit overnight in the refrigerator. See, this one's not wanting to peel real great either, so we'll just do the best we can. Just not quite ripe enough. Those of you who make like peach jam and all that, you know what I'm talking about. You really want your peaches a little bit riper than this. The pieces don't have to be perfect. Once they sit in the lemon juice and the sugar overnight, they're going to be a lot softer. Let's have a taste and see if they're good. Those are really good. Oh, this one's going to peel really good. It always makes me so happy when they do that. You'll have 4 or 5 that won't, and then you'll have several that will. This is really the stage that my mom would have preferred. She would always make probably 4 of these through the peach season here. You didn't get them any other time because she wasn't going to buy store peaches. She was going to get peaches from a farm stand. And sometimes we had peach trees, and she would do it from those. So. Again, this one is not quite as ripe as that other one. That's okay. This is going to be delicious anyway, and it's going to remind me of my mama, and that's always a good thing, right? So we've got a few new subscribers. That's fun. Welcome to Life with Nana. I'm so happy that you're here. Hit 200 subscribers this week, which made me so happy. I was so happy about that. And I think we have 72 videos posted, and I have some that are ready to go out. I just haven't released them yet. So we're getting there. Lord's watching out, right? And if He wants it to succeed, it will. So I put all my trust in Him. A little bit of peeling right there. All right, I've got 2 more. This one feels like it's going to peel really quickly. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do to these so that they will set. And what we want to do is we're going to put sugar over them, and we want that sugar to pull out as much juice as it can, because that's going to be our gel over the peaches. We're not going to cook this. We're not going to cook the peaches, but we are going to cook that juice just a little bit. And I'm going to do it the way my mom would have. And I would use, if I were doing it, cornstarch more than likely. But she would use flour, butter, and so we'll do it that way. And get that juice nice and thickened. This particular pie is not good made with canned peaches or frozen peaches. This particular pie needs to be done with fresh peaches. It's one of those things that you have to do that way. All right, let's move this. I'm going to put a little more lemon juice on top of these because I don't want these to turn on me. And I'm going to say that's probably about 1/4 of a cup. And we're just going to move them all around. I'm going to wash my hands. Let's use this one. This is a 1 cup measuring. I like this one better anyway. And we're just going to sprinkle the sugar over these, making sure they get well coated. And I'm going to use 2 cups of sugar, or maybe 1.5 cups. We're going to do 1.5 cups. Now, I started to go get a spoon to stir these, but actually you just want to leave them just like this. And we want to put our lid on here. And we're going to put these in the refrigerator overnight. And in the morning, I'll show you what to do. Good morning. It's the next day. And we're going to get this pie put together so that we can put it back in the refrigerator and let it set up. So I have a pie pan here. I think this is a 9-inch. I'm saving some Nilla wafers to go around the edge. And I have some Nilla wafers in this bag that I'm going to crush up to make the pie crust. Now, my mother always insisted on Nilla wafers. She said they just did better and had better flavor, so that's what I do. I use the same products that she used. And I have some butter melted, and I have my peaches over here. And I have a pan to put the juice in. So the first thing we're going to do, I also have the oven preheating. And the first thing we're going to do is crunch up these Nilla wafers. Now, I don't like to just completely, pulverize them. I like a little bit of bite. All right, so that looks pretty good. You can see there's still some bigger pieces in there. The next thing I'm going to do is I melted a whole stick of butter. I'm not going to use this whole stick, I hope. I'm going to pour some of it in here. We're going to try to do about half. Maybe just a little more than half. I'm just going to pat this around. Hopefully it'll be enough. If not, we can always make a little more. I think it needed just a little bit more, so I went ahead and made up just a tad bit more. Okay. And then we're just going to take these and put them right around the edge. That's going to make a pretty little edge. This is the way my mom would make a lot of her pies. Especially during the holidays, she would take a little more time and a little bit greater pains with them. Alright, so we're going to put this in a 350 oven for about 5 minutes. That's all it's going to take. Alright, and while we're waiting on that, I'm going to get a little more butter in my pan and just set it on the stove. Alright. We'll see how that looks when we get over to the stove and do this portion of it. But that's about 2 tablespoons right there. We may need a little bit more. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is to separate this juice from the peaches. Now my mom would always scoop them up, squeeze out the peaches, and that would leave the juice, and she would just put the peaches in another bowl. So we're doing it the way Mama did it, so we're going to do it like that. Papa's out back. He's using the Blackstone this morning to cook up that pack of bacon that we talked about in the last video. Getting that ready, so another week's worth of bacon being cooked out there. And he's also doing some potatoes. We had some potatoes in here that were beginning to sprout, and so we needed to get those used up in some way. So that's what he did. And last night I was cleaning the refrigerator and I found 3 pork tenderloin patties that we had not eaten that had already been cooked. So I just went ahead and put a canner of beans with the chopped up tenderloin in there. So I have 7 more cans of beans on the shelf over there. I love doing that. So anyway, I dread this part because this is going to be cold. But this is the way she did it, so this is the way I'm going to do it. So she just squeeze out the juice. You don't want to mess up the peaches too much, you know. We would make 3 or 4 of these at a time because my mom always had people at her house, and it would, you know, peach season is short, and when she made them, she made quite a few of them. Alright, my timer's about to go off over here. Maybe I can get this done and my hands washed before the timer goes off. Alright, let me wash my hands. Okay, so we have our peaches here. I'm going to go ahead and I went ahead and turned the timer off because I know that's about ready. So I'm going to take the pie plate out of the oven. We want this to sit here and cool until we get the rest of this ready to go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn my pan on and start getting my butter melted. And let's see. I love these for this type of thing when you really want to scrape around on the bottom. And this is a non-stick pan, so I don't want to use anything that'll harm the pan, of course. So in the summertime, when I was growing up, we ate more seasonally than we do today. So when strawberries came in, my mom would make strawberry pie, very similar to this. A lot of times she would buy that gel that's at the store. You know what I'm talking about. And then when peaches came in, we would do the same thing. And in the fall, they would buy a big box of oranges, a lot of citrus, apples, sweet potatoes, that sort of thing. So it was more seasonal eating back when I was growing up. I grew up in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s. So, you know, we didn't have the big box stores that we do today. We just had local grocery stores, and it was a lot harder to get things, I guess, you know. They did have a few things there, but usually it didn't taste very, very good anyway, so. All right, let me get some flour. And this is just self-rising flour. Use whatever you have. We're just using it as a thickener. You know, I think I'm going to need, for that much juice, I think I'm going to need this other little bit of butter. So that's going to bring us up to about 4 tablespoons. And we want to get that going pretty good. And then you put your flour in and you cook it for a little while to make that roux. And then you pour your juice over in it and it thickens up. This pie is wonderful with some whipped topping. It's wonderful on its own too. Alright, so I'm going to do about 1/4 of a cup of flour. And you just want to cook this until the flour taste is out of it, you know, and you don't want to brown it, so I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to pour all this juice in there. I'm going to get me a whisk and get that all whisked together. And of course, that liquid was cold because it's been in the refrigerator all night, so got it whisked in there. So now I can just wait for it to come back up to that boil. And if this doesn't thicken up as much as I want it to, I will go ahead and add some cornstarch. Alright, and so the next thing we're going to do is to pour the peaches back into the pie shell. We're not cooking these peaches, remember. These have not been cooked. They've just been sitting in their own liquid and sugar and some lemon juice. The lemon juice is really just to keep them from turning. I believe that's going to be the perfect amount. Isn't that pretty already? It smells divine. Okay. I don't know if you can see the thickness of it. You're trying to get it where you can see. The next thing we're going to do is just pour this over. Our peaches. Little spoon and kind of push it around. I kind of wanted to run out on me there. That's okay. We're cooking real food here. Everything doesn't have to be gorgeous. It just has to be good, right? Let's taste this. Y'all, I say this so much, but right back to my mama's kitchen. I love making things that she made. Now I'm going to clean the edge up just a little. All right. And we're going to get this back in the refrigerator. And it's going to need to sit in the refrigerator for probably 4 to 6 hours. So by the time we come back for supper, after supper we'll have our dessert. Well, hey guys. We are just getting finished with supper, and we are about to try this peach pie. Right back to my mama's kitchen. I'm telling you guys, this is a recipe that you need to try. I will do my best to put it in the show notes. Remember, Nana loves you. I'm so proud of you. And you always have a friend here.